Synoptic Gospels. Amen. The Synoptic Gospels being Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It's found in all three of these books of the Gospel. Mark chapter 1. Mark chapter 1 verses 29 through 31. Mark chapter 1 verses 29 through 31. And then we'll read Matthew chapter 8 verses 14 through 18. Matthew chapter 8 verses 14 through 18. And then we'll go to Luke chapter 4 verse 38 and 39. Amen. Are we there? Do we have those scriptures marked? Mark chapter 1 verses 29 through 31. Matthew 8, 14 through 18. Luke 4, 38 and 39. Let's read Mark. And forthwith, when they had come out of the synagogue and entered into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. And he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. Now let's look at Matthew's account of this situation here. Matthew chapter 8, verses 14 through 18. And when Jesus was coming to Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. Just those two verses is all we need tonight. And then let's go to Luke's account of this situation here. Luke's account 38 and 39, chapter 4, 38, 39. And he arose out of the synagogue and entered to Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever, and they besought him for her. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her, and immediately she rose up and ministered unto them. Amen. When we look at these three accounts of the healing of Peter's mother-in-law, so we understand also that Jesus performed 37 miracles that are recorded in the Scriptures. Of the 37 miracles that he performed in the Scriptures, they're categorized in three categories. Amen. That being a miracle of healing, miracle of nature, and the miracles of resurrection. And so we understand this one being a miracle of healing. Now, last week we talked about Jesus. He drove out the demon. He healed the demon-possessed man in the temple, in the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Now, this is the same day. This account, this miracle of Peter's mother-in-law, is yet on the Sabbath day. And again, traditional Jews taught again you didn't do anything on the Sabbath. You didn't do anything. They taught. You didn't do anything on Sabbath, but here, Jesus is performing his second miracle on the Sabbath day. And so when we look at these accounts, these three different accounts, we notice there's some differences in the accounts. Matthew says that Jesus touched her. Mark says that Jesus lifted her up. Luke says that Jesus bent over her. And so some would argue there's some inconsistencies there. But I would tell you that he did all of them. Okay? It all matters from your perspective, where you are, where were you, the count of the situation. Or you understand, Mark might not have been there. But Mark got his gospel secondhand. And so it is formally believed that Peter was the person who really influenced Mark's writing. He really followed Peter. And so Matthew says that he touched her. Mark says he lifted her up. And Luke said he bent over. Now, Luke's account is, again, when it comes to the miracle of healing, you're only going to see a little bit more detail in Luke's account of the incident. Because, again, Luke was a physician. He was a doctor. So, the Bible, Matthew and Mark said that she lay with a fever. What did Luke say?